7.
Anything on the left side of the table here, he's got a choice of 2 or 3 reds if he can get across there. That's a great shot. That is really nice. Because it wasn't a very big angle on the brown ball, but he played it beautifully.
Yeah, he's got to hold on to just how well he's played in this tournament. When he came here this week, he was the only member of the top 64 who hadn't appeared in a quarter-final in a ranking tournament. Obviously, he's now in a semi-final.
12.
So he's made great strides one way or another. He just wants to now start to produce the sort of snooker in the match that's got him here. He's a pretty fearsome sight, I think, Jackson, when he starts knocking them in. I mean, that match with Barry Hawkins, he finished off with 2 centuries at the Crucible.
18.
Oh, he's a really good player. I mean, there is no doubt. He can't always put it together. Sometimes attacking players, the game is just built on attack and there's not a lot of defence, but I think he's learning the other aspects of the game without taking away what he's strong at.
19.
Not happy with that, but is he not on anything? Or is there a red that goes?
25.
He looked away very disappointedly, but I think he's on that middle red. Maybe he thinks it's just a little bit tight. Be handy if it did go, because it would open up the one below it. Oh, goodness me. Oh, ball's going everywhere.
Jefferson Page. 25.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. It feels like Trump's on top, but he's not necessarily seizing the initiative.
I think that previous shot of Jackson's, I think the red did go if he played it slowly with a little bit of left-hand side to check it up a bit.
Just thinking about the business. He's still looking at his finger, which he sort of cut on the way in somehow. But there was a match 30 years ago in the final round of qualifying for the World Championship at the Norbreck in Blackpool. Alex Higgins and Tony Knowles. And Alex Higgins, after the first session, well, went across the road to a sort of drinking establishment, managed to fall over on the way back, cut all his arm. All his arm was bleeding. And anyway, sort of patched it up best he could. And he came back, he beat Knowles, and he was literally, in the end, bleeding on the table. There was literally blood on the bays, but that kind of sums up what sort of a character he was.
8.
Despite all of that, he still won. Now, meantime, Jackson Page has just lost his way here.
He's finished in the worst place. He just wants this frame, I think. If he could just get this frame won somehow, and he has a lead, he'll be fine, I think. It's an awkward shot, this, because playing the yellow, the green or the blue is somewhat in the way of getting down for red. And the pot is not unmissable either. Well, the blue was kind of in the way, but he did brush it on the way through.
10. Eleven.
Yeah, he
Check us on page. 11.
played the right shot to play on it. He's got a very good lead, but this is pretty poor frame, all things considered, but an important one.
One.
Yeah, the problem here, obviously, the black is tied up, the blue's gone south. He's not ideal on this pink. And, of course, he's trailing in the frame as well by 27. Going to ask a lot to win it at this visit.
Yeah, the table is not conducive to a clearance, as anyone can. This man can find a way. He's not very well placed on this red either.
7.
Awkward angle, that. Balls close together. Not able to see the opening of the pocket from where he's standing.
Eight.
Well, we saw his battling qualities yesterday, albeit I know it was helped by those flukes, but he still played some great safety, actually, in that frame with Wilson. They both did.
Well, that would have made some difference, actually, had that gone in.
14.
Small margins, because it would have been a free ball and big points difference.
Jacham.
Well, let's open the frame a little bit, and that's, of course, in Judd's favour. Well, if nothing else, I guess the frame is set up for a counter-attack from Trump. Not one colour on its spot. Quite unusual. Oh, actually, maybe the pink is on its spot. It's a pretty scruffy table.
1.
Just clawing his way back into the frame. It's one just to get it on the board,
6.
really, isn't it, this frame? It's not a classic.
Still important. I think if Page could win it, you know, obviously that might settle him.
Yeah, it's very
Jacham.
important,
6.
I think, in the context of this match, all the things we've seen so far in the frame and three quarters. It's a good-looking shot, this. A little unlucky. The line was perfect to get behind the green. Well, he just got away with one there. Could easily have left that yellow available. Much too thick.
Oh, a little stalemate. You are just joining us. I know it's early. You might just have got up. Judd Trump made 122 in frame one. This second frame's been pretty scrappy. There's been a few errors. We're right down to the wire on the colours.
Yeah, there's not much that can be done about this. I think if you can just get distance between the two balls, it would be very handy. Well, he'll be tempted by this. Cue ball coming down the table, not necessarily in behind the green, but towards it. Do with this going on the cushion, doesn't want to leave Trump anything, and it's got his wish. looks to be a snooker. If he was to play for the right cushion, I suppose there's a chance the keeper would come down towards the brown. That's all right. Thought it potentially might knock the brown in, but didn't do so. Well, surely that's not in Judd's favour, because obviously Jackson Page could win the frame before the pink and black come into play with his 8-point lead, which means quite a lot under the circumstances. Kind of hard to know how this will get resolved at the moment, because clearly the safety shots are going to be pushing the yellow towards the brown as complete cover from that side. Oh, this looks good. It's just the fact that he's got this shot now, it means just the double kiss on the yellow is on if he plays up and down. Whatever safety shots are played, Jackson Page, while on the yellow, will not want the pink and black moved. Makes him a good favourite in the frame. Oh. Playing in behind him's fine. In fact, that's a pretty horrible snooker. As long as the pink and black stay where they are, as it really helps him. That is a very unpleasant snooker to be put in.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's see how close he gets. It's one of these where, you know, the sort of misrule is interesting, I think, because this is nasty.
I agree with you. And we'll see what happens here. If he was to get very, very close to it without hitting, you know, there's always a strong argument that you would not call the miss. It doesn't have to be a miss on every shot. But let's see what route he has first of all.
Foul and a miss.
Well, there you are. That
Check on page 4.
there's a scenario that we were speaking about.
Well, there's the frame time. This is a critical moment, 35 minutes, and we'll see how costly this snooker ultimately is for Trump.
Foul and a miss.
Well, he's further away that time.
Check on page 4.
I mean, it was a brilliant snooker, and it might end up a snooker that virtually takes him over the line if he keeps missing it. Very difficult shot, this. You've got one ball to hit. If the yellow was closer to the baulk cushion, that would give him another option of hitting it. You know, it's kind of isolated out where it is. It's not hittable via the cushion at the same time.
Yeah, obviously that caption's wrong. There's 27 on.
Foul and a miss.
But he's missed it a third time, so these points are stacking up.
See, I think there was an argument there not to call a miss on that occasion. Strong argument.
Well, if he misses twice more, he'll need one himself. So this is serious now for Trump.
Foul and a miss.
Yep, so now, if he doesn't hit it, it won't be called a miss because he'll need a snooker.
Yeah, well, I think Judd's a little unfortunate. That attempt, the penultimate attempt, was a very, very good attempt at a very awkward snooker, which was called a miss, and it might not have been.
Foul. Checkers and page 4.
Well, it was very, very costly. So now 28 in it with 27 on. Oh, this is the black.
Foul.
And
Checkers 7.
makes it even less likely, of course, he's going to win this frame. 35 in it now.
I have to admit, when we saw the amount of time they've been on the yellow, which must be a good quarter of an hour, I didn't think the frame was going to be resolved in the way it has. It was hard to see how it was going to end, but with a devilishly difficult snooker is basically what has won him the frame.
Well, of course, our colleague Fergal O'Brien and Dave Gilbert that time, the infamous 2-hour frame, they were on the yellow for an hour. Trump not giving up, though. You know, there's a case he might have got just a bit frustrated there, but not a bit of it. Look at this shot. Look at this shot.
Yeah, this is not easy either. Playing a big swerve. This is almost a masse. Great shot.
Well, Trump might be getting flashbacks to yesterday. Of course, he fluked green and brown against Karen Wilson, but surely that is that now for this frame.
Jackson Page 2 in the frame.
It took some winning, but Jackson Page maybe now will settle into this match. He laid a great snooker, you've got to say, behind black and pink, and that was in the end the key juncture in the frame. So all square at 1 each.
Third frame. Jackson Page 2 break.
Four weeks today, the World Championship final stages at the Crucible will be getting underway. A lot to play for before then, not least here this weekend. Of course, the Tour Championship as well coming up, and the World Qualifiers for those involved. That's a dramatic 10 days, which you can watch live on Discovery+. before all the drama on the yellow, Trump did have quite a few chances in the frame, but balls started to go awkward, and once he fell behind, he always looked sort of second favourite.
Terrific shot. He's very good at that shot. And red to middle going up the table. Obviously, he has a shot at the yellow into the bottom right. Good choice for a couple of reds, I think, here.
3. Judd Trump, 3.
Don't see that many of those missed. Not that dissimilar to the shot Hossein Vafai missed in the decider against O'Sullivan. Ronnie O'Sullivan got back into the frame, but as we know, Vafai ended up winning it on the black, but earlier in the frame he missed a red like that one.
Yeah, the truth is he hasn't pressed on from that first frame when he made the century. You know, you had sort of visions there of him really running away with it. Page was still worrying about his finger that he'd cut and all that, but now he's involved in the match. He's got an immediate chance here in frame 3.
Eight.
It seems every year at the Welsh Open you hear a discussion about the future of Welsh snooker and who to look at. Well, this man is a great prospect. He's still only 22. It feels like he's been around a long time, but great talent. Having said that, though, that's nowhere near going in.
Check the page. 8. One.
Yeah, I think the last thing that Jackson Page needed was to almost repay the compliment of Judd's simple miss into that same pocket.
9.
Because he's made Judd forget about the ball he'd missed.
$16. 17. 18.
Well, has he clung to the red? I suspect he has, because a sort of slow trudge round the table. All he's got here is the possible double, but I don't know if he'd fancy playing that. There's no really easy safety shot with the red up in bulk as well. Very unlucky to finish on top of that red and not be able to pot the one to the right.
Judd, 22.
I suppose it's okay finishing there. He's left a relatively easy safety shot if Jackson Page wants to play it.
Okay.
Table's actually quite inviting for whoever gets in next, but there's been a few false starts already in this frame. A couple of key misses. Judd Trump is in.
Strange shot, wasn't it? Because he was hitting the black about half ball. So in a way the red had to go in. It wasn't a shot to nothing. Once again, positionally, not really working out. I think that's one of those doubles. He almost had to hit it harder, just straighten the angle on it to make the double happen.
Green ball. Judd Trump 7.
The ball's flying around everywhere. He just tried to get the cue ball back there. It was a good shot, but of course you don't know very much about where the Reds are going to finish. Now that's a slightly worrying sign for Trump. That's sort of his trademark shot. He didn't get that close to it.
Jackson Page hasn't played yet the snooker that's got him here. A lot of table time, and any thoughts he was going to be blown away after that initial century from Trump have gone away.
The cue ball just ran a little bit further than he wanted. Looked perfect when he hit it to finish on the blue into the middle. He's in between He almost doesn't know whether to play it into the left middle or the bottom left. Playing in the middle, the cue ball just running a little bit awkwardly. I think he's a bit unlucky there on the previous shot. He played it well, the red. He's gifted the frame to Trump.
One.
Yeah, you would think so. Just got to keep control here of this cue ball, and it should be 2-1 to him. Looking to reach his 8th final of the season.
6.
Quite incredible, really. The amount of matches, you know, you've got to win against top players just to get that far in tournaments. And the most incredible thing possibly is that there's an argument he's not the player of the season. I think Ronnie O'Sullivan arguably would take that title right now. Meantime, again, it's not ideal. Finished a little close to this blue.
Twelve. Thirteen. Eighteen. 19.
Yeah, well, just as you can see from that, 51 remaining. This red being rolled in puts the frame to bed.
26.
It's been quite scrappy after frame 1. Frame 2 was a pretty unusual frame, the way it went on the colours, but and this has not been a classic either. But at the moment, Trump will just take a lead, and if Jackson Page could get to the interval 2-2, I think he could regroup. He's not played anywhere near as well as he can. So I think the frame that follows this one, just get the feeling it would be quite a significant frame in the context of this match.
Yeah, he's not been outplayed, but he's handed Trump too many openings in this frame. It could have been 3-0, but for that, well, terrific snooker that he laid. We'll never know how that frame would have resolved itself, actually. He might still be going on. So, a rather fragmented frame, but it's gone to Judd Trump, who's back in front in the first semi-final of the World Open here in Yushan, China. He leads Jackson Page 2-1. We've got one more frame to come before the interval. Snooker's World Open. Neil Robertson and Ding Junhui are up later. It's been a fascinating week, high-scoring week. Of course, Trump's had a century in this frame. Sorry, in this match already. The next two frames have been a bit scrappy. But he just feels like he definitely on top. Page has had actually a lot of chances. He did win that lengthy second frame, but it was all a bit of a scrap. But remember, he's beaten already this week. Bobby.
I think that's the point, isn't it? I mean, if he'd out-potted another sort of attacking player, would be one thing, but to beat two of the greatest match players that we've ever seen in the game tells you that he's got something about him. But it hasn't really been seen today so far, I have to be honest. He just hasn't settled at all. Unnerved by the finger injury that he seemed to sustain. before they even hit a ball. He just hasn't really been in the match.
Six.
Well, this is maybe Trump's time to really seize control.
7.
Of course, the last time he won this title, 2019, last time it was staged, that was the season where he won a record 6 ranking events. Of course, he's already won 4 this season. We'll never know what would have happened at the Crucible had
14.
the 2020 World Championship been played in April as it should have been, rather than in the summer.
15. $22. $23.
The cue ball raced off the cushion there. Thin black, or the kind of blue which we always say looks difficult, but invariably players get a lot more than they miss these days to keep the break going. There you go, there's one of the occasions when they are missed. It's almost heartening to see that shot missed, because most of the time they say it's an awkward recovery and they tend to pot them, but it was the speed that kept that one out.
1. Checkers on page 1.
Just a completely unforced error, completely unexpected. Not good signs.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to get into the bunch and it didn't work out either. You know, the Reds didn't really move. I haven't seen a huge amount of blacks off the spot miss this week, quite honestly. A few, but only a few. Table's playing easy. I think he believes that the 2 Reds might be a plant to the left corner, but even then, he's not entirely sure. The gap between the Reds makes it unsure as to which way they'll go. The touching, they'd go in one direction. And he was just not certain about it. So Jackson Page actually got away with that black off the spot. Miss that he very surprisingly played.
What?
You sort of saw Trump kind of shaking his head in the background there. It's a strange match in a way, because he's definitely on top, but he hasn't absolutely seized control. Page has struggled. It's not guaranteed to continue struggling.
Eight. 9.
Well, where he's good, Jackson Page, and where he's been good this week, he's a good rhythm. You know, he works out the shot, and then he doesn't spend a lot of time playing the shot. You know, from the moment he gets down on the shot, he just points the cue, hits the ball, and that's the method that's got him this far.
$11. 12.
It's big ping. If he's playing it up into the yellow pocket, feels a big shot. Middle, playing it in the middle. He's kind of slightly coming away from the reds. That's not too bad. I'd like to have been right behind it. Just feel at the moment he doesn't want too many difficult shots because you feel that he might miss one of them.
18.
Bit of an angle on this red. I don't know if he goes into the pink or if he can just avoid the top of the bunch. Oh, that's a good shot
19.
through the gap, although I'm just not entirely sure where his next red's coming from. Can he dig into this and open them? It's not that straight. Terrific shot. That really is a good split because that you can see the cue ball coming away to the right side of the table.
26.
Not careful. Beautiful shot. And there's my point. Quickly, he plays each shot when he gets down. He doesn't rush because he takes his time addressing the shot. But at that point, he just hits the ball.
Yeah, that black wasn't clean, but what a chance now, as long as he just stays focused, and he would be delighted with 2-2, I think. He's not played the snooker that's got him this far, but if he's level at the interval, then plenty to build on. After a bizarre start, he cut his finger on the way in somehow. And that definitely unsettled him in that first frame.
Yes, he's making a little bit of hard work of this. That wasn't a great shot on the red either. This is not where he wanted to be on the black. It does feel a very significant passage of play, and just overcome any nerves and just get this frame one here. It would make him feel so much better.
43.
He's very gifted. I mean, there's no doubt he's a very exciting, exhilarating player to watch, and he has been this week.
Yeah, it's what any sport needs, isn't it? And young players coming through and staking their claim. I mean, what company is in here in the semis? Trump, Ding, Robertson, 3 established winners, and he's here on merit as part of the lineup.
I tell you, he's using all the pocket, isn't he, in this break? Black earlier on, then he just made it. That I think he was
54, yeah.
Just thinking about getting that cue ball right there. 32 the difference, so I think just keep potting balls at this point would be the answer.
$55.
I mean, I know he's actually looking to see if he could take the green, and that would be too many, which it will be. It's not been a particularly fluent
58.
break by Jackson Page standards. He's knocked in a barrage of brilliant stuff this week. This has been very nervy, but he really wants his red in to get the frame one.
$59.
Yeah, and the significant thing is, and okay, a couple of the balls have come close to missing, but he's made a break now. So he's had some good table time and will feel great, I think, at the interval.
63.
Because some of the balls he's missed and mistakes he's made, you know, he could have been a long way
65.
behind, but actually it's going to be level, and Trump has got to get himself together when they come back. He looked like he would take control. He won the first frame with a 1-2-2, but not
68.
to be. All sets it up nicely for the second half. Great brown. Well, what about the blue? Well, it's sort of explored every pocket there, hasn't it? But anyway, a dashing break. That's a typical Jackson Page kind of break. 72 from the Welshman. And he gets himself level at the mid-session interval. First semi-final of the World Open in Yushan. Judd Trump and Jackson Page are level at 2 frames each. Jackson Page getting the second half of this semi-final underway. He's done well. He's dug in. He made that 72 in frame 4, and it's 2-2 with Judd Trump. Best of 11 to reach the final. Well, it was a sort of mixed bag from Trump. He did make the century, but then it got a bit scrappy, and in the 4th frame he was actually not looking happy at all in his seat, but he's had the chance to regroup in the interval. His brother Jack's with him. I'm sure he's imparted a few words as well. It's not like he doesn't have the experience at this level, of course. This is his 61st ranking semi-final. He's looking for a 44th appearance in a final.
Seven. Eight.
Yeah, he just caught a little bit too much of the black there. That's the reason he's not right behind it anyway. Keep on coming away from all the action. Well, the very tightly bunched pack of reds anyway, which he'd have to deal with. Goodness, he's unlucky to finish there.
15.
The table's so fast, it's hard to think you would cling on to the blue at that sort of speed. I don't know if he can get through to the red. Don't think so. Well, it's a very good shot, and also it's given him a possible way into the bunch of reds now.
Bumpo.
Nominated brown here. Well, I'm surprised he missed that after the red that he potted, which was more difficult 2 shots before. Well, that is a way into the bunch now, because he's either going to go directly into it, or there might be... he could possibly go in off 2 cushions here. I think ideally he'd like to just hit them flush. And he's got cue power. Gets the cue ball singing and dancing, doesn't he? He's got an extravagant backswing and
6.
get the cue ball to zip around. He's almost got too much cue power for a table as fast as this, I think. When you see Jackson, you wonder, would he, if you're playing on the slower tables of 25, 30 years ago, probably would have suited him better, because he could just hit through the ball there. He's almost half decelerating on most shots. But he's a beautiful player. I love watching him.
Yeah, and the mini session that he played prior to the interval is arguably
14.
his worst of the week, and he still got out of it 2-2. So now, if he can
15.
step up a level, and it looks like he might do that here, it could be a real handful for Trump.
Yeah, I mean, for people that are just tuning in, I'm sure there are a few that have only just got up. He came into the arena before he had the handshake. He seemed to have cut his finger. It was bleeding on the little finger on his right hand, and he could see that it was all he could think about for quite a while.
23.
He just took the first 15 about was the plaster on his finger and all that. He's under hit there or got a kick. He should still be okay.
Well, it's made a difference, because now he's lost his way here.
30.
Yeah, I think he might be able to get to the red that he just nudged into through the gap. I mean, it's a little fortunate if he's on that one. Oh dear. What a chance that was. That really was a moment in the match, I think.
Yeah, like you say, he was still on the red. I mean, okay, well, he's shaking his head. He's not happy. It was a golden chance, but as I say, at first when he... Well, there's... meanwhile, very loud phones going off. Going to say, when he got the kick, you know, he recovered pretty well, actually. He potted the black. He was still on the red, but he missed it.
I mean, that is a very old school ringtone, isn't it? It sounds like a phone from a sort of a government building or something, an office.
Well, I think whatever phone it is the person who's been pretty sharply spoken to.
One. On the side of the blue, he didn't hit that particularly well. I think he's a little distracted still from that phone going off. Played this very well. Evidence of the cue speed that he's got, Trump there. These should have been Jackson Page still at the table, and to be honest, I haven't seen him quite as disappointed before as he was. He was so annoyed that he missed. He knew it was a big point of the match. It was an absolute gift. He got himself in. He was furious when he missed that red to middle.
14. 15. 22. 23. 28. 29.
So he'll be 26 in front if and when he pots this. He's not going to need the red up the table on the left. Just a little bit of difficulty though about the other two reds. I mean, you know, even the
36.
the left-hand red lower down, he's got to get on it.
37.
Should be able to slip in behind. And then he'll need red and a further colour, any colour.
Well, it looked a big
44.
error from Page when he missed that red. He was arguably fortunate to be on it, but he didn't pot it.
I think the problem came from the shot before, didn't it? He got a kick, he didn't get on the black quite right, so he had to make sure the black and maybe didn't. It all just escalated, didn't it? And in the end, he missed and was very annoyed about it, and sat down ever since.
Well, Trump still needs a colour. He's 35 in front, 35 on.
Yeah, I think he'd be looking to just pop the ball and not think too much about being on the red, any colour. And also, I think he was looking to find a gap through the brown ball and the pink ball, so he could actually see the red, not Snooker himself. Seen a lot of doubles go in this week. Yeah, so this frame's not over. The balls are in quite good shape for getting Snookers. 1 to tie is the equation.
Yeah, well, Page, of course, in frame 2 got him in a horrible snooker, which effectively won him the frame.
So just about ends the frame if he can cut it in, which I think he can. Maybe it's a little thinner than it first looked. I think his only worry would be, of course, missing it altogether. But I'm sure it will cut. So the frame ends. And to be honest, it's the one that got away for Jackson Page. He had a good chance. He was in.
Six. 8. $11. 15.
Yeah, he's certainly got to just cut out those unforced errors if he's going to challenge here. Trump, regardless of how he's played, he's just got so much experience at the business end of tournaments. He knows how to get these matches won. We saw it yesterday. Aaron Wilson.
26.
So, for the third time, Judd Trump is the odd frame in front, 3-2, and halfway towards a place in the final of the World Open tomorrow. So Judd Trump is a frame in front, as he has been twice before. Jackson Page, both occasions levelled up. But we're at a kind of critical stage now of this semi-final. The danger that Trump might start to take control. Let's see, this is frame 6 of a possible 11. Neil Robertson and Ding Junhui, of course, up later in the second semi-final.
So he's got to play off the right side of the bunch here. Maybe just having a look to see as to what exactly will pot, or is there a plant? Or you can leave anything near a pocket. Can't get to the red on the left side. The bolt colours are in the way. There's a bit of luck here. There's a gap through to the red. Don't think he can pop that. I think the yellow seems to be in the way. Certainly of the dead straight pot. See part of it. So a little fortunate there. Jackson hit both jaws of the right middle. Oh, why do you think he should be able to make this plant? I mean, the red close to the pocket is not hanging over the pocket, so I mean it is conceivable that you could miss it. think he goes comfortably.
Well, he struck that very sweetly. Yeah, it's a big frame, isn't it? I mean, they're all big, of course, we know that. But if you can get to 4-2, it really puts pressure on someone who's, of course, not used to this sort of stage.
Seven.
Even just the setup here. I mean, Jackson Page would have played, obviously, in the shootout one table, but that's possibly the only tournament he's played in where it's just the one table.
$14. 15.
We saw the very careful replacement of the black by referee Zheng Weili. I don't think the black's potable. I mean, I think the reds are in front of it anyway, but he'd have to nudge it into
20.
an open space if he's going to get the black on.
21.
Yes, he's played on this pink, which appeared to go a few shots back. He seemed unsure about it, but it absolutely flies, to be honest.
Well, Zheng Weili now having to sort the pink out.
Well, this to me would be a nightmare for any referee if you've got to put the ball right in the middle of a load of other balls. It just sounds like a horror story, doesn't it? Now he's got to put the red back. Looks to me like it will fit in there somehow.
Yeah, it's got to go as close to its spot. Can't touch that red, so he's just making a very slight adjustment. Has to be in line with the spots. And then the red goes back. Well, he's done well there. Yeah, quite right. A little round of applause.
Yeah, I mean, it's another important passage of play, isn't it? Because the chance for Judd Trump to take a two-frame lead might just feel like he's on his way. He's an inexperienced opponent at this level, at this stage of a tournament.
$33. $34.
Not a good shot at all. I'm not sure what he played. I can't believe he tried to free anything in the bunch. He must have just played up on the blue. Hit two reds on the way through. Now, all of a sudden, this blue is far enough off straight to make it not a comfortable recovery shot. Well, he should have done better there. He knows that from where he was, yes, the pink and black were a little tied up. But he had the chance to get a frame one in one visit. It's an awkward table, even more so for Jackson, with the blue now off its spot and on the cushion. As we saw, pink and black have had to be replaced closest to their own spots. So where does he go with this? He's going to have to first address the fact that he's got to pop the opening red, and then somehow, well, he's just got to move something, bring colours into play.
One. Five. Six.
Yes, it's hard to get anywhere with this break at the moment. He's played 3 really good cueing shots, but he's no closer to getting the high value colours in play.
Ten. Eleven.
Never been able to get the right angle on a bolt colour to just try and disturb anything. I just think that it's a break that sort of got no real future in it, unless he plays an absolute blinder of a shot. Still in this frame, I mean, he's a few behind, but not so many that it means a lot.
Jackson Page, 11.
Not a bad shot to finish. I wonder if there's an argument to have got the blue out into play. He has got a snooker at least. It's a very big frame, isn't it? And Jackson Page, I think, has completely understood that. He's only a few behind, 23, not much. These high-value colours will come into play very soon, although not necessarily at that shot. Chance to bring the pink into play. Crucial frame, this. Brilliant pot, but again, I don't know what's going to come of any of it. He's going to play the snooker here. I think it's a crucial frame for Jackson anyway. You know, to go 2 down against Judd Trump in a big semi-final.
Yellow ball.
Yes, he can win from there, but it will be unexpected, I think.
Checkers on page 1.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is Trump has not dominated him, as could have happened, certainly after the start he made with the century. And these sort of frames, the scrappier ones, Page has been winning.
I think Jackson Page should have got the snooker on the previous shot if he was going to play what he did. Didn't manage it. See, he didn't play it very well. It's something on the way through. Cue ball brushed into the pink. He's not going to be as sharp in this kind of situation as other players. He's relatively inexperienced still, but he has to find a way of winning this frame. Well, I said there's not that many in it, 22 points, but I suppose with all those balls on the right of the table, it's a slightly bigger advantage than it might seem. I think Trump has just decided to just shut up shop here and just win the frame any way he can.
Funny old table. Yeah, that's all the reds now over there.
Yeah, I mean, it is a strange old table. That's why snooker's such a great game, isn't it? Because it's, you know, how could you ever think a frame would go like this? A bit like when you think about the draw for the lottery every week. When they come out of the tube, you know, different numbers come out. Otherwise, the same numbers would come out. It's just you're just gonna be ahead of you, do you, at this game?
Well, it's going to take some resolving now.
It's actually quite a good shot. I mean, he may have got snooker all but the top red here. Well, he can roll up to the reds from the cushion very comfortably and not leave anything. I think for the moment that would probably be his best way of not sticking a ball. So that's what he's going to try, just drop into the reds. Oh, maybe not. Goodness. That was a risky shot to play, wasn't it? thought he should just play wider shot there. On these fast tables, something was always going to go over a pocket. I understand he wanted to try and make something happen, but all he's made happen is Judd Trump take the frame off him. Judd is very confident that that does not spot. That's why he pot the red. And he was correct.
7. Eight. Twelve.
You'd get to that red, the right-hand red of the two, off the other red. Is there any way back into the frame here? I think he had to decide there whether he was going to try and put it directly or off the other red. Had he tried to put it off the other red, he...
Strange old frame, but the fact is Trump needs this pink and the penultimate red here, and he's going to be 2 frames in front.
Seven.
It's not been the sort of dazzling display of potting we may have been expecting with these two. It's been hard work, this frame in particular, but Trump doesn't care because he's won it, and for the first time he'll be 2 clear, and crucially of course 2 away from the final.
14.
Taking no chances here.
Judd Trump, 14.
And Jackson Page remains, well, yeah, he remains in his chair, having just checked the scores. 48 behind, snookered on the last red. So Judd Trump then maybe making his move. It was another scrappy frame, but he's won it. He leads 4-2 in Yushan. So Jackson Page finds himself 2 frames behind. He's had a great week here in Yushan, but now needs to find something to get back into this match. 4-2 to Trump. Been some scrappy frames, but Judd Trump winning that last one has just changed the dynamic of the match.
Yeah, I mean, even that last shot there of Judd's, I mean, that's almost a bread and butter shot for him, isn't it? That half ball red up the table. He didn't play it well. You know, he hasn't looked that comfortable himself, Trump, today. I mean, you never know with this game, obviously, but on the balance of what we're seeing, you know, there's a strong argument that the winner of the late match, depending on where you're watching from, could be the person who lifts the trophy. Obviously, Judd, if he was to get to a final, you could never say that he's not going to win as well as either Ding or Robertson, who are prolific winners, of course, as well as he is.
I think just not sort of going to plan, are they? I mean, he's potted it, but he's finished no good. It's been quite a frustrating match in a lot of ways.
Green ball.
Well,
Foul.
he nominated green, but he didn't get there.
Didn't
Didn't reach.
Check position 4.
I'd say it was a free ball as well.
Free ball.
Not sure if that's any use to him, but
Bumpo.
Well, even that didn't go great, did it? He just caught the knuckle, nudged the blue. Could still take the yellow here. Of course, the brown counts one as a red, the free ball scenario. Yellow struggles in. But the black is available now, so this is some sort of chance. Made 72 break, Jackson Page. Or his highest so far today.
Four.
oh dear.
24.
There was definitely a noise there, you know, just as he was playing that. There was some sort of, well, I don't know. It wasn't a phone. It was a human voice, and he looked round there as if it's put him off. I think it did actually.
Well, I think it's happened a few times. I think players have genuinely been distracted. I mean, often, you know, there'll be a break in play, and mercifully the player at the table will pop the next ball, and you think it's fine. But actually, a few times they've missed straight after, haven't they? A distraction today, or been not right on position or something.
Well, this red, I think, will cut back, and the black, of course, is over the pot. And the reds have opened up as well. So big shot, this actually. In it goes.
One.
Well, he tried to go into the heart of the bunch of reds and all of that, but as you saw, he just grazed into the pink.
8.
Not remotely what he's looking for out of that shot. It's not worked out that badly if he's got an angle on this black anyway. That's a good shot. That was awkward queuing to play that shot with pace.
Yeah, I think you've got to credit Trump's competitive zeal. You know, we talk about the sort of showbiz shots, but that's only a very small percentage of it. So much of it is just sort of rolling your sleeves up.
Well, he wants to win, doesn't he? I mean, I know that everyone seems to, but, you know, you do see certain players who... I mean, we saw the world champion end up whacking a few balls around at the end of his match. It seems a long way to travel halfway around the world and not give up, but just, like, things have got the better of him. As Judd seems to just keep going, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the clue is, and we've seen on Eurosport, certainly some of his interviews, if he's lost, no one likes to really speak to the media when they've lost, but
22.
Some of it's been sort of Hendry-esque in its brevity. And that's good. I mean, it shows you it means a lot. Not always good if you're interviewing him, but in terms of what it means, clearly all the great competitors have that.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's one thing to be a gracious loser and all this stuff, but you don't want to be too gracious. You know, he's got to hurt to lose, isn't it? And when he loses matches, it does hurt him. Because he treats all of these tournaments equally, I think, and he has done for years. These are all ranking events all around the world, and he puts the same effort into them all. Meanwhile, I think there was a minor disturbance again on that right side. It's all happening over there. Everyone looked across. Referee, Jackson Page, Judd.
$34. $35.
He'd be annoyed there to finish the wrong side of the blue. Just to get the other side makes the next shot simple. He's particularly good at that shot around the table. If anything, he's got too much onto it.
40.
Needs a good one to continue. And that is a good one.
41.
So much of this match has been hard work. It's like trying to eat soup with a fork a lot of the time. But this is where that competitiveness is obviously a plus. He's just refusing to leave the table without knocking them in.
Yeah. He's actually ended up with an angle that took him onto that red from the green. It was awkward. Had a very good shot, and he just nudged the other red.
$45.
And this time he gets a good nudge. It's a very good kiss. Perfectly from blue to his next red.
$50.
Yes, he's really knuckled down during the course of this break.
$51.
Terrific shot this time, as played topside. And the lead is growing. There's becoming fewer and fewer points left on the table, so he's almost at the position where he'd be within a frame. So it's taken a lot of concentration, this break, because the balls have just not really been there all the way through.
$56.
So he's looking at the plan. He's going to have to slightly make it. It's a big shot. Should win in the frame. Well, just sheer willpower, I think, has won in this frame. As I say, he just refused to leave the table. And Jackson Page requires snookers.
I'm just thinking, if he was to make a century here, it'd be a pretty unusual one.
62.
Because there's been a lot of playing up on the blue, lower value colours. All of a sudden, there is a possibility he could do that.
63.
It's been a remarkable break, actually.
66.
Had to get over so many hurdles. So Jackson Page, I think he was put off on that black, but now he's in serious trouble in this match. That black is not going in, so the break ends at 67, but it was a fine effort from Judd Trump, who's made his move since the interval, and he is now just one frame away from the World Open final. He leads Jackson Page in Yushan 5-2. 5-2 to Judd Trump in the first semi-final of the World Open. Jackson Page needing to find some inspiration. Is the sort of character that can do that, certainly. He's done it all week, but time's running out. It's going to have to happen now in this next frame. As we wait for Trump to return, just a reminder, the second semi-final, Ding Junhui, Neil Robertson. That's 11:30 UK time, 12:30 Central European time. We'll have it live for you later on. Judd Trump one frame away then from 44th ranking event final with a chance to win a 28th title.
From 8. Judd Trump to break.
He had those two remarkable seasons, didn't he? Won 5 and then 6 ranking events. That dried up a little, but he's now back in that sort of territory. So he already won 4 this season, including 3 on the spin. Jackson has got something in his eye. Of course, the day started with it, somehow cut his finger. Got enough to worry about looking at the scoreboard. Well, he saw that one pretty clearly. So he's in. But this is now about trying to, OK, great red to start, but trying to just control things and just not make any unforced errors.
Four.
Looks to me he's just drifted into an awkward position there. Played on the top left-hand red, but the cue ball just kept running. Well, he's not happy. He's not played well today. To be honest, it's a shame because he's played quite brilliantly this week. There was always the chance this would happen. His run would get so far, but he really hasn't played well. He hasn't looked comfortable out there. If he was to lose, maybe he could learn a lot from all this. Week's been a success, no doubt. It might be coming to an end for Jackson Page.
Yes, but he's not lost yet. But if he does, the one consolation is his ranking. He came here, and where he was in the rankings, he would have been going to the World Qualifiers with Tour Survival on his mind. Well, he's going to be 43 even if he loses this match. So that actually gets him through a couple more rounds in the qualifying, and also he'll be dangerous, I think, when he goes into it, as a lot of them will be in that qualifying section. Judd Trump, of course, does not have to worry about that.
Once again, didn't really get any reds open there.
9. Twelve.
Well, look, that's okay for now. Question of what he can put after he knocks in this pink. Not sure if the black will go as well. It might land him on the red that he's closest to with the cue ball, but you know, he is so good at keeping breaks going, as we've already seen this during the course of this match. Very often there doesn't seem to be a lot on, but he just keeps popping balls.
Black ball.
I think if he was to roll this in, I think they'd go down the cushion pretty comfortably on this table. I think if he played it with any more pace, the cue ball would have swung wide and not even hit the reds.
Give me some time.
Poor Zheng really, I think he's got to put this pink right in the middle of the reds again. It happened earlier. He's asked for some time.
Well, time may be running out for Jackson Page, but at least it looks like the trump break's over. Well, we'll see. This is going to take a bit of time.
Now he's got to make sure it's level. It's obviously got to come across a little bit more to our right.
He seems quite a calm character, so he's not going to panic here, just do the job.
He's refereed at the Crucible before, isn't he? I distinctly remember him doing that, which is nice to see. Referees from all different parts at the Crucible.
So the red goes back, and
27.
Another little smattering of applause for the referee, but Trump, of course, not on a red here, so that was a chance to get it won.
Judd Trump, 27.
Terrific pot. He's going to have to play as well as he's been playing all week if there's any sort of a comeback in this match going to happen. And he's below the line of the baulk line here, playing around 2 cushions into the bunch. Great shot. Brilliant shot. Maybe he could just take the pressure off his shoulders a bit now and start to throw his cue at a few, then who knows what can happen.
Five.
Well, he's certainly capable of reeling frames off. That victory over Barry Hawkins mentioned earlier, he had a couple of really dashing breaks to win it, centuries at the Crucible 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good player. We're kind of seeing both sides of his game. You can see all week how he's got this far because he's been superb, but also the way he's played today, you can also see the other side of it, why he was struggling a bit, because the difference between his best and his worst is very large. But the talent is there.
I think you see that the really sort of naturally talented players, there can be a bit of a gulf. Anyway, it's not over yet.
20. Well,
now I think whoever plays Jackson Page in one of these events, he just knows he's a handful, isn't he, as a player? You know, he's extremely talented, and he can put the frighteners on you the way he pots balls.
Yeah, he has a certain presence, doesn't he, around the table? Sort of makes himself known.
27.
Poor shot, isn't it, to finish the wrong side of the blue from where he was. Such a bad shot on the red. I mean, how can you have such an easy red? And it's an elementary shot to get the other side of the blue, then positions a whole lot easier. You know, I don't think he knew that was on. When we saw it from the low angle, it did appear to be a 3-ball plant that was makeable. But the fact that he screwed the cue ball back to where he has made me think that he didn't believe it was on at all. He only played safe. The shot was there. Let's go for this. This is a massive shot. Massive shot. Could be his last.
33.
Yes, Jackson Page knew he would have to get the brown. He knew he'd be leaving this chance if he missed it. So it's up to Judd Trump now to put himself into the final. Just finds ways to win, doesn't he? Judd Trump. It's so many matches you've got to win in these 1-8 events where you come in round one. He's played every day.
8.
And so far, nobody's beaten him.
9.
Out of his hands as to whether he gets back to the table now.
Yeah, it was a very odd little sequence, wasn't it, from Jackson Page? He played a poor positional shot. Turns out there was a 3-ball plant which he hadn't really considered. And then the brown to middle, which was all or nothing.
20.
So he needs yellow, green and brown.
22.
So I guess if it's going to go wrong, it's going to be this shot. But Judd Trump with a golden chance here to get this one.
He bounces the cue ball off the cushion. He's coming down sort of the line of where the blue is. Doesn't want to end up stuck in behind that or anything, which he's avoided.
25.
Sure exactly which puck he played it in. I'm guessing he did play on it in the middle. If so, it's a pretty good shot. And as Dave pointed out, he hasn't got to play position on the blue. Just pop the brown and be done with it.
In it goes.
29.
At times it's been hard fought. There are a couple of scrappy frames, but Judd Trump, such a great competitor. And since the interval, he's pulled away. As the blue flies in, and he is going to be into his 8th final of the season, with a chance to win his 5th ranking title of the season. Jackson Page has had a terrific week, and he can't quite bring himself to concede here. 24 behind, though. He needs 2 snookers. And surely that's it now. He shakes hands. So it is Judd Trump who reaches a 44th ranking final. The defending champion still going in Yushan. And the last line of defence will be either Ding Junhui or Neil Robertson in Sunday's final. Yet another final for Judd Trump. He's 8th all told this season. It wasn't a classic by any means, but he showed great determination to get the job done. And he is the winner by 6 frames to 2.